Melanie, girl, what is going on with you? Seriously, I don't know, but you seemed a little bit too happy and excited that a bombshell came into the house. I don't know if you were just happy for your girl Kenzie, but it was definitely giving you happy for yourself. Now, I don't want to hear you saying anything when Sincere starts talking to these new bombshells. As a matter of fact, Sincere, please do me a favor and do all of us a favor and go ahead and just drop Melanie, please.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted and I am your girl Kay. Today we're going to be breaking down Love Island USA Season 8 Episode 5. Now we have so much to unpack in this episode, but before we do so, please, I would like you to take a moment to like this video, comment and subscribe to the channel for more recaps like this one. It really helps the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about this episode. So we pick up with Sean being sent home and everyone's kind of acting like they're okay, but we all know that they're processing what just happened. Now Corbin and Kenzie have a chat and they're just happy to be sharing a bed. She said that she would have chosen Corbin and he said that he had no doubt in his mind. It was an easy decision for him to pick Kenzie. She then gets distracted by this man's gigantic hands. She's holding them, playing in it, comparing sizes, and then she's asking him about any sports that he's played growing up. And after learning he played basketball, she starts joking about never dating someone younger than herself. Corbin calls her a cougar and she's like, oh my god, no, stop. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about Kenzie just yet. She's definitely giving thirsty. She gave a lot of thirst in this episode. And I don't know, she's just not really somebody I'm checking for right now. Across the villa, Trinity and Bryce have a chat and he says that he's so happy to have gotten picked by her. Trinity said that she was definitely attracted to Sean, however Bryce makes her laugh. She went on to explain in her confessional that during all the mixed signals she may have sent and the miscommunication that she and Bryce may have had, he stayed calm instead of trying to get revenge or to play any kind of games, and she really respected him for that. Now, I personally am not sold on this too, and I definitely believe that if Trinity sees someone more her type, she will definitely be jumping ship, and I think the same would happen for Bryce as well. Then we jump over to Melanie and Sincere. He said that he was nervous the entire time because he genuinely didn't know whether Melanie would choose him. But ultimately they're just ready to cuddle and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, Anaya and Casey have a little chat and he tells her that he too was also nervous about getting picked. And I mean, who else would she have picked? Duh. He does express to her that he's starting to catch feelings for her, and of course she's gushing over that. Now, I must say that so far I do like Anaya and Casey, but he definitely pissed me the hell off in this episode, but we're going to get to that. Zach and Kada are in their own little world as usual. She's letting him know how happy she is, to which Zach says he thought that Corbin would have picked Kada. She said that if that had happened, she would be crying all night, and I really believe her because you could tell she's just so smitten with Zach. Now, she tells us in her confessional that he will always be her number one choice because he makes her feel safe, confident, and comfortable. Now, we also do see a chat between Bia and Gabriel. She's letting him know that it's hard for her to open up. And while she's not really trying to compare to the other couples in the villa, she feels like Gabriel is not really good at expressing himself. Now, he explains that it's more so a language barrier and that it's easier for him to speak in Spanish because it's close to speaking Portuguese, and that way she can understand. But he really all he says is that he's really happy with her and he likes her for who she is. It definitely wasn't giving too much substance, and I haven't seen these two having too much of a deep conversation or anything that's really that meaningful, right? And remember, Gabriel came in hot and heavy, and I feel like now he's just there. Now, Bia's a clown because did your peep when he bumped into her prosthetic leg? She's like, oh, it's cool. I don't feel it. And I said, oh my god, Bia. Oh my goodness. That was funny. Okay, so lights go out and the islanders all head to bed. And so we get to the next morning and the vibes are cool. The girls get served breakfast as usual. We see the first chat of the day between Beatrice and Gabriel. She explains that she likes a gentleman. She wants someone who opens doors, pulls out chairs, gives her his jacket when she's cold, and all those little thoughtful gestures that make her feel cared for because he was wanting to know what kind of guy she's into. She also tells Gabriel that she wants deeper conversations because they really haven't gotten into each other's past yet. Now that opens the door for both of them to start talking about their previous relationships. Beatrice does reveal that she had a relationship with a man who was much older than her, around 20 years older, and admits she generally tends to date older men. Now, Gabriel is visibly surprised, but he kind of laughs it off because his own last relationship also involved an age gap, although nowhere near that dramatic. So I feel like this is something they kind of related to. And Beatrice does explain she's even met the older man's family, but the relationship just wasn't sustainable because the age difference eventually became too much. Alright, so then we cut over to Anaya and Sincere, and somehow she's always having some kind of therapy session with Sincere, okay? He does say that the day before gave him some reassurance because Melanie chose him. But he is still struggling with trust when it comes to Melanie. He keeps asking how he's supposed to make the trust stronger and how to make a woman feel secure in a relationship is what he's get asking advice from Anaya, sorry. So Anaya immediately tells him reassurance is everything and reminds him that trust naturally builds over time. She actually gives him a really nice pep talk, telling him he's great at communicating, he keeps his composure during difficult conversations, and he's able to express his feelings better than most of the men. Now, Sincere does share advice his friends have always given him on the outside in the past, and apparently they've always believed you should never like a girl more than she likes you because otherwise you'll end up getting hurt. I've also heard the same, right? But Sincere basically says he never agreed with that mentality and doesn't want to play emotional games just to protect his ego. The conversation then shifts back to Anaya's own relationship with Casey, and she admits that whenever she starts overthinking something, Casey immediately reassures her. She also shares that every morning he tells her she's beautiful, he's constantly checking in on her to make sure she feels secure. Cynthia does tell them that they do like a perfect couple and they for sure really are my favorite couple so far. This is the couple that I am rooting for so far. I'm sold on these two, except until Casey pissed me off, okay? But I still like them. Meanwhile, the girls gather upstairs for what quickly turns into a relationship status meeting. Is what it was giving, okay? Beatrice tells everyone she and Gabriel are continuing to grow closer, and she appreciates how direct they both are with communication. She likes that she can be straightforward without him taking it personally, but she still worries that he might only be fully invested until somebody new walks in. Now, Kenzie, on the other hand, tells the girls that she's genuinely attracted to Corbin. Their conversations flow naturally, and the kisses have been really good. Then she casually just says that he actually turns her on and admits Not many men have made her feel that way. And like I said, she also said that about Gabriel. So Kenzie is just thirsty. Okay. Then we cut over to Anaya and Casey, and honestly, I was really enjoying this conversation because it felt so natural. So they were sitting there talking about their dating history, and Anaya asked him what his typical type usually is. Casey says he's really only had one serious girlfriend, but outside of that, he's dated around. And the only thing all the women had in common was that they were independent, driven, funny, and outgoing, and just a little weird. So basically, he likes a girl with personality. So naturally, Anaya starts to dig a little bit deeper and asks how long that relationship lasted. And he tells her it was about 3 years. That then opens the door for Anaya to talk about her own dating life. And she reveals that she's only had two relationships herself. She said that the first one only lasted a few months, but the second one was one of those on and off situations. We've all been there, and it stretched from high school all the way into college. Then Casey asked what she was like growing up. She said she played volleyball, she won homecoming princess, she dated the football player, and basically she was your classical all American high school girl, right? Anaya asked if he would ever lived where he's from, and he's like, yeah, he would. He actually does need to move. And we do see Casey saying in his confessional that he has never left his hometown or really done anything that pushed him completely out of his comfort zone. He said he knows once he finally decides to spread his wings, there's no going back. He also said that he's always been an overthinker, and there have been so many moments where he could have taken a big risk, but instead he always chose the safe option. He even said that hearing Anaya talk about her traveling and all of the things that she has done, it kind of encouraged him to want to stop playing it safe and just go for it. Okay, so the islanders are pretty much just chilling, right? So then Kenzie gets a text saying that there is a slumber party, and of course everyone is super excited. So it's now later on in the evening, and back in the dressing rooms, everybody's getting glammed up. The girls are hyping each other up, and honestly they looked amazing, right? They were all talking about how gorgeous everyone looks, while the guys were just curious to see what the ladies would have been wearing. Now, come to find out, there's this gigantic bed out in the open near the pool. And I said, what the hell is about to go down? The budget definitely went up for Love Island this season because, baby, all of those twists and turns, my goodness. Now, while the Islanders are dancing, talking, and having a blast, we see Miss Maddox make her entrance, looking incredible as always. Now, we know once Ariana's in the building, something is about to go down. So she asks them to sit on the bed and explains that they're about to play a little game. So she explains the rules, that the boys will all be secured at the headboard, while the girls are blindfolded and each given a different paint color. So they'll have to move across the bed using only touch, chemistry, and intuition to identify their partner before handcuffing themselves to whichever man they believe is theirs. Meanwhile, the paint will expose exactly where they've been exploring by the end of the challenge. So the first girl to go up is Trinity. So with her blindfold on, she cautiously starts making her way across the bed. She decides that she's going to start kissing the guys to find her guy. Now, once she gets to him, she immediately knows she found him, and she said she doesn't have any interest in going any further. We do see Ariana telling her, she can explore if she wants, but Trinity basically said that she's good. She handcuffs herself to Bryce and said she's done, right? Next up is Melanie. Melanie. Melan freaking Lee. My lord and my god. She uses the same strategy with kissing, right? So she kisses Zach and then she's like, this one's not mine. Now, eventually, she reaches Sincere and she knows she's kissing Sincere, right? So she goes ahead and she's kissing him, but she decides to continue to go to the next guy. And she knows that she's not kissing Sincere. She knows that she's kissing Corbin. And the girl had the audacity to go between Sincere and Corbin. Sincere and Corbin. And then she's like, one more time. Sincere and Corbin. And then she went right back to Sincere and she's like, yeah, that's my guy. I said, okay, Melanie, I know you're here to have fun and you're free to have fun, but you're just taking it an extra mile, right? You're doing too much, honey bunch. You're doing a little, not a little, you're doing way too much, right? Now, she knew exactly what she was doing, and I am just convinced that Melanie really wants to be with Corbin. Now, we do see Cynthia's face, and he wasn't feeling it at all. And I have to agree with him, like, girl, you could have your fun, but that was way over the top. Melanie, you're getting on my final freaking nerves, okay? Now then comes Kenzie, and she's taking her time, right? Next thing we know, a bombshell is making her way into the villa. And I said, what the hell? What is going on? Okay. Now she walks in and her name is Saul. She introduces herself as a 24-year-old from California, and she immediately makes it clear that she's not intimidated by the competition. She said she's never really had trouble getting attention from men and fully expects the girls to be nervous about holding on to their partners because she's more than willing to shake things up. Now, Saul looked really beautiful. I loved her haircut. She is very sexy. She is really beautiful, right? Now, Kenzie is still doing her thing, but we do see the bombshell go straight to Corbin for her first kiss, and then she makes her way to each of the guys to share a kiss. Once she's done, she exits the villa, and Kenzie finally found her way to Corbin, and she handcuffs her hands to his. Now, mind you, the girls are still blindfolded. They have absolutely no clue what's happening, right? Beatrice takes her turn in the challenge, and she was clearly confused from the beginning because there were so many people on the bed at this point, and she started second guessing everything, right? She wasn't sure who was who. But eventually, though, she recognizes Gabriel and successfully finds him despite of all of the distraction. Then it's Kata's turn, and the second she starts crawling around the oversized bed, another bombshell makes her entrance into the villa. Her name is Jen. She's 23 years old from Florida, and she wastes absolutely no time explaining her mission. She proudly introduces herself as a tall blonde with green eyes, big boobs, and a big hat. She also says very plainly that she's there to take somebody's man. Lord have mercy. Now, Jen immediately joins the challenge as well, moving across the bed and kissing all of the guys. Now, Kata, on the other hand, was struggling to find her guy, but she finally found him and handcuffs him. Finally, it's Anaya's turn. She bumps into several different people, even accidentally touching the girls. But the girl was right. She does know her man, and he was the only one that she shared a kiss with, right? Now, Ariana then tells the girls to remove their blindfolds. She congratulates everyone for successfully finding their partners despite all of the confusion. But then she announces it's time to review the evidence. And by evidence, she means the paint, right? So everybody starts examining themselves and each other to see exactly where different colors ended up. And then they peeped the red paint, right? So Ariana then announces that there are bombshells, right? And introduces Saul and Jen to the villa. So the bombshells make their way back into the villa, and they made it known that they had fun, okay? And now when Ariana asked the guys how they felt, here goes Casey say, oh, I feel blessed. And then he's like, to be with my girl Casey. Now is not the time to give them type of jokes, okay? Casey, please don't piss me the hell off. Please do not piss me off, Casey, okay? Anyways, Ariana smiles and then lets the girls know that she didn't forget them, and she then introduces one final surprise, a male bombshell, okay? His name is Caleb. He's 21 years old from North Carolina, and from the second he walks in, the head starts turning. Now tell me why? Why was Melanie screaming so much? Melanie, girl, I have no more excuses left in me for you. I can no longer defend you. Alright? Melanie looked way too hyped about that. She was acting like it was her birthday, or I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, Melanie, I am tired of you, right? And it wasn't like she was hyping and she was happy and like it was just for a moment. It was continuous to the point where Trinity had to tell her, girl, Melanie, like chill. And she's doing all of that in Cynthia's face. Cynthia, you have way too much patience. I really hope you go ahead and explore with the bombshells. Even if you're not interested in them, please go ahead and do what you need to do, Cynthia, okay? Now, here's where things get a lot more messy. Caleb gets to have his fun with the girls. They're getting kissed on while their partners sit there and watch every second of it, okay? Just messy. Caleb wastes no time and he begins making his way through the women one by one. He shares kisses while their partners watch every single thing, right? So the girls are having a time. Meanwhile, the guys are trying very hard to convince themselves that they're completely unbothered. Meanwhile, Caleb confidently tells Ariana that there will definitely be more kisses coming in the future. We also do see Kenzie saying that he's her type to the T. So that definitely means that she's gonna be dropping Corbin. Now, Ariana then asks the islanders to get familiar with the 3 new bombshells, and we do see her exit the villa. Now, judging by the preview, the tea is only getting hotter. And this is where episode 6 leaves us. And honestly, I don't think anybody in that villa is sleeping peacefully after everything that just went down in that villa. The girls have bombshells to worry about. The boys have Caleb walking around looking like temptation wrapped in southern charm. And we do know that some of the girls love them a cowboy. And also we learn that America is finally about to get involved with the first vote of the season. You already know that's going to shake the table even more. But I want to know what y'all think. Were those kisses just part of the game? Or would you be side-eyeing your partner like the whole Melanie thing? What do y'all think about it? And more importantly, which couple do you think is actually solid? And which one do you think is hanging on by a thread? I need to hear your thoughts on this episode. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!